Dead meme.
Alright guys, we're back for the second tutorial episode. We're gonna roll through some of the achievements. As you can see, I've gotten a few of them completed. The base has been expanded a little bit. So just to be warned, I'm not gonna cover something that happened in the last video. We're gonna make this work knife, and you need to do flints. You need to make flaked flint. Not gonna do it again. The videos will be way too long if we have to recap every single step. So just to keep that in mind, I'm going to move ahead. All right, so the next important tool that we should unlock is, this is what we were looking at last time. We unlocked this, was where we ended. We can take the 3x3 crafting grid. We can do that. And this will get you the work knife. But I've already got one, so we're not going to do that. There we go. Pick those things up. Let's see. What can we move on to next? Getting strenuous. This is a good one. I'll set up for it. Very, very useful tool. Very powerful. All right. So if we want to do this is getting strenuous, we're going to need to make this hopper. So we're going to be doing this one. We did not complete that one, but we know how to make a chest already. And we'll just throw those in there. And there we go. So that's our chest. I showed you guys how to make a cobweb already, but I'm just going to run through it anyway, because I'm going to need it to display the next portion. Alright, so in our strainer, we need this guy. This is what we're building up to. So we need the hopper, and the tree bark, and the cobweb. There we go. So as you can see, like, this is kind of compounding on itself to make these more advanced components. I'm going to have to cut some more wood, so I'll come back. I won't bore you. All right, so we're ready to build the strainer base. Again, if you just throw the name in the bottom here, hit R on it, it'll give us the recipe. If there are other components, we can hit R on them. Later on, when the crafting grid is an actual crafting table from vanilla, we'll be able to use this button, but we'll do that when we get back to it. So there we go. So we've built the strainer base, but it won't do anything unless we give it some material to work with. So in the strainer base, as you notice when we type strain in there, we get these two recipes as well. So they're a compound item, so we're just going to build one of each in order to complete the achievement. I think you need to make both. Oh, we're about to have a broken crafting table. So we'll make the mesh. Both of them are crafted the same way, either the fine mesh or the deep mesh. There you go. So you'll craft both versions. It'll give you the achievement. We're going to move down to where I've got one set up just so you can see what it does. All right, so we're down at the shoreline. I didn't bring it with me, but the one I have set up, a good friend of ours, if you remember him from the Let's Play. So you dig one down because it needs to be partially covered by water, and you have to put something in this strainer base here. So if you hold down shift, it'll tell you the potential things that are available. So that's the less expensive, and this is the more expensive. So these are some of the things we can get passively. So shark teeth, very important item. You only really use it once, but getting this is a nuisance. This is an easy way to get it. You can also get ink sacs this way. And let's see. Yeah, so ink sacs with the big one. It's also great for getting the book for the map, which I'll show you in a little bit. But we're going to move on to the next step. All right, so we should look at the line in the achievement list here for creating fire. Very, very helpful. It'll lead up into this guy and forever fire, which is like a charcoal block that's down there burning forever, and what I have set up in here. So we're just going to quickly jump into how to start a fire. So when you do this, you'll get the achievement by basically just making one. It gives you two. But to keep in mind, it doesn't function the way you would expect it to. So you're going to need to put this in the offhand and do this. And this will allow you to set a fire. So later on, we'll create a kiln, and I'll show you that process. But this is me starting a fire. All right, so I have created fire done. The next one is fire pit. So I have it already called up here. So we'll need 3 sticks, a twine, don't use leather, and 3 rocks. So you might get to the point where you're having an issue getting rocks. You could just take cobblestone, and you can get 9 that way. And you'll just take it to the crafting station, 3 rocks in the bottom, twine in the middle, 3 sticks like a teepee. We're not going to bother showing it to you. It's not a very useful item. I honestly wonder why it's in the game. But the one that you're going to be very interested in is this grill. So we're going to make one of these. And since you can never seem to have enough of these, I'm just going to make it anyway. So take some of that granite that will... Here we go, call up the grill. So we need either smooth stone or some of this polished stone or dorite or whatever. You know where this stuff comes from. You've been playing Minecraft long enough. So we're just going to create the teepee shape with the granite, and we broke it. So the crafting station does have durability. That will get you this guy. I'll show you in a little bit how you can go about putting a never-ending fire under him, and how you can cook stuff for him. Let me see if I have something available. No, nothing at this time. I'll show you, well, you could watch the Let's Play and see it there. Alright, I went and mined up some rocks. So you can cook food this way as well as stones. This is one way to get smooth stone. You can get it from the strainers as well. So that kiln is likely the next guy we're going to look at. So cook it up. That's the achievement we're looking for. We'll need at least 3 of these stones. Alright, so we're going to make a stone slab because we're going to look at the kiln. So the kiln requires 1 stone slab. You know how to make these. It's a Minecraft thing. You do this. And I'll come back when the next step is ready. Alright, so this is the recipe. Little clay balls with that stone slab. We're going to make one because I would like to show you the process of curing it. So as you can see, this one is very different than that one. That one is functional. This one is not. So in order to fix that up, we're just going to go outside and grab a few sticks if I have them. Be right back. Alright, so we've prepared a little space to cure the kiln. So I'm just going to throw it up there. And we're going to start a fire underneath it. Now that might be enough to cure it, or to turn it to that brown color. If not, just light another fire under it. It'll eventually cure, but we'll come back. Oh, awesome. Now, we'll put that out. If you hold down Shift and right-click on it, you can carry it around. It kind of makes you move a bit slower, but, you know, that's the nice way to transport it. So I have a second kiln. When I'm ready, I will definitely use it, like later on when you mass produce. These things don't really go obsolete. They just kind of get rigged up into a system. But of course, we'll cover that rig when we get there. Alright, so Forever Fire. This achievement. I've got a block of charcoal down there. It'll burn forever. You'll set it on fire the same way we've set all the others on fire. So this is the byproduct. But what we need to do in a kiln that's already been cured, you'll have to light a fire under it without one of these. You'll throw your log in there, and eventually it'll turn into charcoal. Then you can set the charcoal on fire. The block will last forever. You can make a whole bunch of these, and then you can create a little feed system like I've done here, right? Like these will never have to be fed fuel again. Very, very useful. All right, in this stage of the game, there are no buckets. The closest thing you get is a fluid bladder. You're unable to transport source blocks at this time. It's something you unlock later. but you require water in some of the recipes, such as leather and bread dough. So we're going to get into how to make this guy. We type in fluid, there he is. So ink sac, brown dye, and plant twine. So I don't think I need to do this with you. I'm sure you could figure this out, but brown dye can be made through a compound of red, yellow, and black. You get more than one. And then you'll throw it in there with an ink sac, and you'll get this bladder, and you'll acquire this achievement. This barrel, again, this is a very simple recipe. I don't think I need to do it with you. You're going to make a slab in the 3x3 grid, then you're going to put planks on each side, and that will get you this achievement. Now this is the one that is interesting. I'm going to set up for leather. I'll be right back. Okay, so in order to prepare you to do leather, we need to deal with this guy, the grindstone. So in order to make him, you're going to need smooth stones. You can cook them on here to get them. So you can just throw cobblestone on there, and there you go. You'll have your smooth stones. The grindstone, this is its crafting recipe. I'm not going to bother making it with you. I'm sure you'll figure it out. But in order to get the resin for this, we're going to need tree bark. So the tree bark will go into here. But in order to get tree bark, we're going to require the work knife that we built at the beginning of the video here. So we'll take the work knife, throw it in your inventory with any log, and you'll get tree bark. So this tree bark, you'll just spin it in here. It'll eventually turn into resin. I'll just show it to you once. It's a very long process. It can be automated. That's a story for another time. I'll come back when we're ready for the next step. All right, so we're down by the water. We're going to need water in order to do the next step in the process of leather. But first things first, you're going to need to get these pelts. So I just want to point out this wild dog pelt. Do not use this in leatherworking unless you absolutely have to. It is a waste. Please don't do it. And I believe I have a guest. All right, one less zombie in the world. Open the menu, take the animal pelt that you wish to prepare. We're going to need the work knife. So here's a tip: if you're having an issue finding something, type it in there, double click real quick, and there you go. So it'll highlight the work knife for you, or anything with that phrase in it. So we're going to get rawhide by performing this task. And while we're here, as you can see, there's salt. Salt is a big component in leatherworking. This will also provide you with an achievement in the line with the fire. So I'll show it to you. Fire. Okay. So what I like to do in order to make this easier on myself, I'm going to put everything that I want to work with in buttons 1, 2, and 3. You don't need to do this. This I just find is the least agitating way to handle leatherworking. I do recommend going to the middle of a river because water source blocks do not recover unless they're from a river. See, there you go. So with the crafting window open, 1, 2, 3, go. Again, 1, 2, 3, go. So as you can see, very tedious. There's a reason why I set it up this way. Now, you don't have to do it this way, but it's going to be more fun. But anyway, back in the next step. All right, so after that tedium, you could do something horrible like show all the cows their skin. So it's kind of like a little warning for them, you know? So remember, this is done with the salt and the rawhide, and you put it on this drying rack where I've been making monster jerky. It does take a fair bit of time, so we're going to skip ahead to that. All right, so it goes from this to this. It takes a little bit of time, but that's just the nature of this game. So we're going to move on to the next step. Back soon. All right, so we're back at our water source. We've got the resin this time. We got this from grinding the tree bark in that grindstone I showed you a little bit earlier. I'm here with the fluid batter, or latter, and the dried hide. So you guessed it. It's 1, 2, 3, all over again. And we'll just do that until we're ready for the next step. Alright, and we're back to threaten the cows with more of their skin. So basically we're going to put up this wet hide. And I did some of it already, so eventually it turns into this. So once you loot this off your drying rack, you'll get the achievement. Right now, I don't want to go any further. The video is already going to be rather long. Alright, so I'm going to end the video, but I would like to end these videos by showing some little rig or setup that will make your life easier. So you know how to build all of these. This is just a hopper. This is a shelf. And this is the chop block. You could look them up with JEI. All you got to do to put them together is throw the chop block down, throw the hopper on top, and then throw this up there. This will automatically feed the logs for you, so you don't have to put them all in. This works with planks and other things. You'll see a similar setup to this with other things that we build in the future. I'm relatively new to YouTube. I'm sure it's pretty obvious. If you could do me a huge favor, you can throw a like and subscribe in there, maybe a comment. You can even tell me I'm wrong or whatever, it's fine. Anything to give me a little bit of help, and thanks again.